Hey there, and welcome back to Utility Sports Plus. In today's video, we are covering the latest AP Top 25 poll. This just came out about 30 seconds ago, so I am recording as live of a reaction as you can get. So right now, on the others receiving votes, we have Utah, NC State, UNLV, SMU, just to name a couple of them. Kansas as well is thrown into there, but those are a couple of really good teams, but just on the outside looking in. Now, jumping into that AP top 25 itself, Tennessee suffers a loss against Georgia. It's tough for them. It's a tough season. They feel like they're having a very down year. Granted, they are still in that top 25, but compared to what last season was and the amount of excitement that that offense had, it's just not the same team. However, Georgia's a very tough opponent, and that was an expected loss by the Volunteers. Following that up here, we jump into 24 through 22. We have James Madison, Toledo, and Liberty. James Madison, that was so exciting for them. College football game day. There was a lot of hype going into this one, but unfortunately, they drop a close one to App State. This was a true team of destiny, and I was pretty excited for them, considering the fact that they couldn't play, for the Sun Belt title just to begin with. It's tough. It's very, very tough because of the bowl bans that they have. But nevertheless, James Madison, very competitive this year. A lot of expectations for them, but still an awesome season so far. Liberty here, another impressive route to 11-0. This is just a program that continues to build off of the success of the last couple of years, and this is the latest product of it. Oklahoma State climbs a little bit here, 13-point win against Houston. Oklahoma State, if you remember, had that very tough loss last week that absolutely sank them down the rankings, but a little nice recovery week for them, and they pick up the win. I'm excited about Oklahoma State. I think Gundy's done a terrific job once again this year, but once again, had that loss not occurred last week, we might be talking a little bit closer to 10 rather than 20. Number 20 here is Iowa. Very close win against Illinois. This team just knows how to win those tight and contested games. This is going to be a team that is going to be representing the Big Ten West. A lot of credit to them and their program defensively, offensively. There's still a lot of things to figure out with this team, but impressive win for the Iowa Hawkeyes in a close one. Then we have Kansas State, Tulane, and Notre Dame. Kansas State has been the model of consistency the last couple of years, despite some of the players going and entering the draft. They continue to replenish the talent. They do a great job, generally under recruited and underutilized or recognized, excuse me, nationally. Kansas State's phenomenal. They're a really good program. They continue to establish that. Tulane once again fall a little bit due to the product of Notre Dame jumping ahead of them here at number 17. Number 16 is a team that we're going to actually have to keep our eye on, and that's Arizona. Arizona has been super impressive this year. Utah is not an easy out by any stretch of the imagination. Utah is a very solid program, and we've seen it year in and year out with them. But Arizona is finally starting to get some recognition here. If you would have asked me before the season had started, do you think Arizona has a chance to be number 16th in the nation? I would have told you absolutely not. But the Pac 12 has been showing out this year, kind of almost in the last year of its true existence and how we know it. So Arizona showing out for the conference here at number 16. 15, another Pac 12 team. Tough loss, very, very tough loss against Washington. DJ Uyunglele is it's tough. It's tough for him because he throws two interceptions in that game, and that's honestly the ultimate decider there. Michael Penix Jr. was on one. He was phenomenal in that game. Throws two touchdowns. Roma Dunze was terrific for Washington. Oregon State drops here, a team of, once again, almost seemingly destiny. This had been an awesome story for DJ and the squad, but they only fall 5 spots here in the rankings to number 15. I think they have a chance to redeem themselves at some point. Now, looking at the next grouping, we have LSU, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Penn State. To me, I look at this LSU team as once again, Jaden Daniels should be right at the very top of that Heisman conversation. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I think honestly, right now, you could consider him the Heisman front runner. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, look at Bo Nix, look at Michael Penix. I think they are all very fair comps, but man, what Jaden Daniels can do on the ground, I think last game here against Georgia State. I believe he had 600 combined yards, or excuse me, 500 combined yards with 6 touchdowns. Unreal day from him. And we'll get to the other Heisman guys a little bit later on. But man, LSU has been terrific. Offensively, defensively, they got a lot of issues to figure out. Oklahoma picks up the close win against BYU, a game that they expected to win, and they were able to get the job done. Ole Miss, Penn State right there as well. Penn State, Drew Aller struggled throwing the football. I think he had 70 yards through the air. Another puzzling performance on through the air for Penn State. They got to really figure that out at some point. And then Ole Miss here, once again with the big strong win against Louisiana Monroe. You have Missouri now. Missouri is one of those teams that continued to surprise a lot of us here in the college football community. Pick up the nice close win against Florida. People are nervous during that one, but Missouri, another team that has been awesome this year that none of us really saw coming, unless you were, maybe more of a Tigers fan and we're a little bit closer with that team. But yeah, they've been great. Louisville here has a come from behind victory against Miami, Florida. This is once again another great story. Terrific story for them. Louisville continues to ride, only one loss. Alabama picks up the monstrous win against Chattanooga. Not a surprise there. Texas picks up the 10-point win here against Iowa State. I think that Texas, it's so disappointing because it's been so top heavy this year with the top 9 teams all having just one loss, and then we have Oregon and Florida State. Now Florida State is going to fall for the sheer fact of the Jordan Travis injury. Tough, very tough to swallow there. A program that's been so good under Mike Norvell, and Jordan Travis has been the catalyst for this offense and has catapulted them to that 4th overall ranking in the AP, and they suffer a tough loss there. And Oregon as well, Bo Nix was phenomenal. He was elite in this game, and it continues to show why Dan Lanning was so right for bringing him in. He is the right quarterback for the Ducks. Now, jumping into that top 4, now this is where it gets really interesting. Again, we have Washington making the jump. Washington officially makes the jump after a 2-point win against Oregon State. And I think this is, once again, a true product of the quarterback position and what's going to be played there. A lot of uncertainty with what's going to happen with Florida State with making that change at the position. But to me, Washington very deserving here. A lot of people thought that they could have been in the top 4 all along. And now with that injury, it's almost a cemented surefire. Now, number 3, we have Michigan. Close win against Maryland. They were not as dominant as I thought they were going to be, but once again, they get the job done on the road. Ohio State absolutely kills Minnesota. Ethan Kaliakmanis did not know where to throw the football. Man, he had no throwing lanes. He was indecisive, and Ohio State absolutely beat up on the Golden Gophers at home here. It's just a tough game for Minnesota through and through, but you look at Ohio State, how dominant they are. Marvin Harrison Jr. playing his last game at Ohio State at the Buckeye Stadium, and they are number 2. And then Georgia, number 1, unsurprising, beat up on Tennessee here, 38-10, a 28-point margin of victory. Carson Beck was terrific in this one, didn't turn over the football throwing it. He had 3 touchdowns in the air. This Georgia team, once again, is for real. They're finding their groove, and I feel like this is what we came to expect from Georgia football. Despite some of that turnover in the roster offensively, this Georgia team is ready to roll. Kirby Smart has these boys rolling, and the Bulldogs are number 1. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel to don't miss out on any more college football content. I appreciate you stopping in and checking out the content, and we will catch you in the very next Utility Sports Plus video.